I want to show you today how thought leader ads work on LinkedIn. If you're considering running B2B creator campaigns, working with B2B creators or B2B subject matter experts, this is really important part of your distribution to ensure that you're getting in front of the right audience rather than just relying on their own organic reach and the algorithm as well. So what do thought leader ads look like on the platform? Here they are here. They are promoted by you can just see here, it's promoted by ParaHelp. That's the only difference that a thought leader ad looks like on the platform from anything else. It's completely native. The only difference is just that line there that you will see. When you are looking at promoting thought leader ads on the platform, the best thing to do is to not just rely that promoting something that hasn't really worked organically and hoping that it'll just reach more people. It's not going to work like that. You need to analyze your best 3 to 5 pieces of content from your creators, from your subject matter experts, whether they're internally or externally, or B2B influencers as well that you're working with. Once you've decided which ones are working well, then you're going to look at this piece here, advertise, click on it. And this will bring you into the ads manager. You'll probably, if you don't already have an ads manager, you'll need to set that up. So just for the demo here, I'm going to just show you really briefly how this is set up. You will ask for a number of different objectives. For thought leader ads, it's just brand awareness and engagement. I always recommend that this is the first entry point. You really need to look at thought leader ads as an entry point, but you need to set up a retargeting phase as well so that the users that are engaging with the thought leader ad can be retargeted at a later point. I can do a separate video on how to do that. So once everything is set up, as in you've analyzed which objective you're going to have, whether it's brand awareness or engagement, you'll then come into the ads manager, which you see here. I've done this. It's relatively basic, but it gives you a good understanding of how to set them up. So you can give it a name. You have the audience here, and in the UK, then you also have job functions, industry, job seniority, and company size. Usually people would recommend job functions, which yes, it can work well, provided that you have a full list of the job titles that you're going to target. I beg your pardon, it's either job functions or job titles. So in this case, we have job functions, but people talk about job titles, targeting specific titles within that company. And that makes a lot of sense as long as you know exactly the job titles. If there's any nuance to the segment or to the industry that you're targeting, it's really important to take that into consideration. One thing that's a kind of a limitation on the platform, if you do select job titles, it won't allow you to target then based on seniority as well. So that can be kind of annoying. So in this case, we've went with job functions in engineering, finance, and human resources, in the industry of energy technology and energy information and internet, and then targeting director and VP. Company size exclusion, we want to go for anything above 50 employees. We can also then target by revenue as well, which we can look at here, company revenue. So let's say we want to target people that are doing between $1 million or more. This obviously brings down our audience size substantially, but we'll leave it like that for a moment. The other thing you'll see here, we suggest a minimum target audience of 50,000. I would not mind this message. You don't always have to have 50,000 or above. I think if you're spending about 10K or more a month on LinkedIn, usually use that as a guesstimate of 5 estimation, not a guesstimate, but an estimation. So whatever your budget is, by 5x the audience size, depending on the industry that you're in, but that's usually what we would say here. So let's say in this case here, we have 14,000, which I think is a perfectly fine audience size to target in the UK. The other thing as well is when you go on a platform, you will also see that you have 2 options. It can be either accelerate or you can set up the campaign yourself. I always recommend to set up the campaign yourself. It ensures, okay, it's a little bit more timely, but it just ensures that you have more control in terms of where the investment is made. If you don't set it up, you're going to have things like audience expansion enabled. That means that it's going to not take your own targeting into consideration, but it's going to expand it further. You also then have other things here like LinkedIn audience network, which you can see here that we don't want that. You never want to have that selected. That's basically publishers off platform. And that means that ads are appearing off platform. You're going to pay probably lower CPMs, but you're still paying money for the audience that's not necessarily within your targeting on those sites. So always keep that turned off. So we just scroll back up here, the ad format. In this case, we have single image ad. So very straightforward. And then you're going to come down here, have brand suitability. This is more if you're looking at audience segment on audience network, just to have a block list. Budget and scheduling. We can keep it running for a month. Let's say this would run for about 6 weeks to the end of July. So more like 2 months. Bidding. Really important here. Engagement clicks, you can change this if you want to either engagement clicks or impressions. In this case, we'll keep it on engagement clicks, which is fine. And then the other thing that's automated or that's auto selected here is maximum delivery. I always go with manual bidding. This just ensures that you keep a bit more control on the bids here. You can adjust that then when it becomes when you get a bit of data on the campaign over the first, say, 48 to 72 hours. So we'll go into next here. Now we've already selected this, but this is another important point when you are doing thought leader ads. Sometimes in the workflow here, getting people to approve the ad, the creators, can take some time. They don't always get the notification to approve. It takes a little bit longer to come through. Just a quick way around that is when you come in here, this is already I have the auto approval on, but normally what you will see here is you will just see a request and then that they will receive it. But what you do is when you see that request, you'll see 3 dots here normally, and you just click on those and just give them that URL. That just means that they can approve that straight away. It doesn't have to go through to them. And what you want to do is ask them to auto approve. It just means for any future posts that they have, they will appear here, and that you don't need to constantly contact them to get them to approve things. Really useful for if you're working with creators, but also people within the organization as well. So we will go back here when we have that, and then we will just go next. And then the campaign will be ready to launch. This is basically in draft, but you'll just click here and it will be ready to launch. You can review everything here and then it will launch the campaign. So that's pretty much it. My name is Marcus Sherwin. I am managing partner at Kleos. We are a B2B creator agency. We work with B2B brands, B2B creators and subject matter experts to help B2B brands get in front of their buying committee and drive pipeline. I've spent 6 years at LinkedIn as well before I launched the agency. I've managed over 75 million in ad spend, generated over 700 million of pipeline on LinkedIn. So if you need help with this, if this is something you're looking at testing, feel free to get in touch and we will be happy to help you. Thank you.